This video is all about how you react when you get knocked down, you shake it off, you get back on that horse, and you go again. We've certainly been through some highs. Promotion, baby! And we have definitely been through some lows of this Stoke career, but today we did the unthinkable. We actually won a trophy. Leeds in the final. So let's rewind it to the start of the season and see exactly how we claimed our trophy. With the 94 million that the board handed to us, we managed to bring in a few players. First off being Miguel Gutierrez, a new left wing back from Girona. We spent 33 million on him. He looks phenomenal. We then pick up Ruben Loftus-Cheek on a free. We'll take that. He is going to go perfectly for the registration of Into Europe. We also pick up Ben Doak as well from Liverpool, a lone player. He's very fast. We're going to use him, utilize him in them ways. And also, we then spend the big money. 70 million. Junior Krupi we get from Lorient. This guy is absolutely phenomenal. 21 years old, and he is the key to our success. With that, we do offload two players. Otavir and Valois both go for a combined price of 30 million. So, let me know. Were these good signings, or would you have spent the cash a little bit more divided? We're sticking with the exact same formation we have gone through the whole of this series, and we are going to put the new striker and the new left back into there. Gutierrez Krupi straight in as we host Aston Villa for the first game of the season, and it's going to be a nice early one for us as we whip the ball in. Not sure what the goalkeeper's doing, but Brendan Williams is there to slot it away for a 1-goal lead. Unfortunately, Aston Villa are going to answer back though with a header from themselves from a corner. It ends 1-1. We have a quick look at the stats, and it shows that we absolutely dominated, which is a positive sign for the first game of the season. Things to come. We get a cheeky little scare with Gutierrez getting an injury, but luckily it's only for 2 weeks. We then reject Wolves' bid for Dean Henderson. 3 points at the King Power Stadium, and Krupi gets us 2 goals. We love to see it until he gets injured for 4 weeks. We cannot dwell on it though as we play Manchester City, the real test at the Etihad, and they get off really quickly with the ball all the way through and a great finish to give them a 1-goal lead. And within just seconds, they doubled their tally to a 2-goal lead. Lovely little play from it, and Rodrigo with an absolute lovely strike, drilled low, doubles the tally. And then they finish the game off yet again, working down this left-hand side. Good ball movement all the way through, finding Rodrigo, and Rodrigo with 2 wonderful finishes gives them a 3-0 lead. Suddenly forget about the Manchester City result as we draw Port Vale in the Carabao Cup. First time since the 2002, and also the Europa League draw gets drawn out, and I am quite confident with all them teams we're going to go through. Back to Premier League action, and it's going to be a 1-0 loss to Chelsea. But as you can see there, we are 19th when it comes to the amount of wages being spent. It just shows what task we've got in hand on ourselves. This one felt a little bit nice as we advanced through in the Carabao Cup, picking up a 6-0 victory over Port Vale. It definitely gives the players a boost as they pick up a 3-1 victory against Bournemouth. We make an absolute statement in Europe, showing that we are not taking this one lightly after the defeat last year. A 5-0 victory as we travel to Hungary, a pure domination. As the saying goes, all good things must come at a cost, and absolutely does. Redondo gets a 3 to 4 week injury with a sprained ankle ligament. That didn't stop us dominating Europe as we take a 3-1 victory over Getafe. And the great form carries on as we get a 1-0 victory over Brentford from Ben Doak. That win actually comes at a cost, so as our new signing Miguel Gutierrez picks up an injury for 4 weeks to 2 months. Not what we want to see. We're not going to let that injury stop us as we host Liverpool, and it's a great finish from Luis Diaz there. But the boys are going to battle on and do what they do best, and that is get a result from this as a ball over the top finds an on-running Renier who's going to try and whip that ball in, and then it's an easy tap in because I have no idea what Alisson is doing. 1-1. Unfortunately, good form can't carry on running as we pick up a 6-4 loss against Arsenal. Good for the neutrals though. We didn't take that defeat to Arsenal nicely as we go and smash Karabakh 4-0 in Europe. But another injury comes into play. That doesn't stop us though as we pick up a 2-1 victory over Manchester United at home. Dean Henderson playing in goals against his former club is always a good sign. The goals keep on flowing as we pick up a 4-1 victory against Middlesbrough in the Carabao Cup. We then draw Aston Villa in the quarter-finals. I'll take that. Look at them teams. It's doable, this is. Also, another injury. This one is a big one. 3 to 7 weeks, but he is our left-back and backup left-back. That's really tough. The show must go on, and it certainly does that as we pick up a 2-1 victory away from home against Brighton. We pick up an early goal in Europe with a great header from Samu. We're going to be playing Rennes, a former team we played in the knockout stages, our road to the final last year. Is this going the same way that it did last year, as we are actually doing really well in Europe, and I feel very confident, and there is a trophy to be won this season. But Rennes do get a goal back then. It's a very well taken goal, and that makes it 2-1. We then then get a corner, we whip the ball in. It's going to be a brilliant edit, and that is how you do it. A great goal, making it 3-1. And then we're just going to put the final goal to bed here and get a 4-1 victory. Lovely, well-worked goal, finding loads of space, and that is a great finish for Floris, and that is 4-1 victory. Junior Krupi saves us from our European hangover with a 3-3 against Notts Forest. After them games, we see ourselves sitting 9th in the league on 18 points. Not too bad, as you can see there. Manchester United, Bournemouth are all on 20 and 22 points, so it's still touchable, but Newcastle smashing it at the top on 28 points. Also, speaking of Newcastle, we actually play them next, and they get an early goal with Ramos getting a 1-goal lead. We do manage to pull one back down. It's going to be a nice, well-worked ball down at the left-hand side, and luckily for us, it's going to come all the way across, and that is going to be classed as an own goal. But Newcastle were just a little bit too strong as they moved the ball around really well. A great run from Ramos yet again, slots it away, gives them a 2-1 victory. Keeps them top of the table. Bounce back straight away from that Newcastle game as we pick up a 3-1 win in Europe against Lech Poznan. And with that win, you see us sitting top of the group in Europe. The goals kept on piling in as we take a 7-2 victory away from home to Crystal Palace. And then straight away, a 6-3 victory over Norwich at home. Gordon Redondo and Krupi all getting on the score sheet for a 3-0 victory over Burnley. From them huge results we have just had, we see ourselves manage to get up to 3rd in the Premier League. And Junior Krupi is actually top goal scorer so far. No time to think about the Premiership if we have got to secure our dominance in Europe with a 3-1 victory away from home. Back to Premier League action, and we've placed Wolves, and they actually get a goal in the first half, which puts them 1-0 up. We do come back out the second half, fighting strong early on as we move this ball down at the right-hand side. It's a beautiful whip in, and it's going to be a nice volley in the back of the net for Riene. But Wolves do push on, push into our penalty spot, get a ball all the way across, which is nicely done from Neto, and that's a great finish to give him a 2-1 victory. Great bouncing back with a 4-1 victory over Aston Villa in the Carabao Cup quarter-finals, and that sees us into the semis, and we get Manchester City. Not ideal. More wins in the Premier League as we pick up a 3-0 victory against Sheffield United. A tough game against Spurs at the Bet365, and they're going to take an early lead. A lovely little cut across the goalkeeper, and it's a tap-in for a 1-goal lead. But we do get a corner, and it's going to be a front post header flicked in there, and a big header to give us a 1-1. And in the dying seconds of the game, the 93rd minute, Ruben Loftus-Cheek does get that ball on the left-hand side, pushes through, a great ball all the way across, and there is our man Samu getting us a 2-1 victory. We can win against the London teams, but we can't win in London as West Ham pick up a 2-0 victory against us. Our scouts send us that Wahi is actually available on free, so we're going to try and snap him up. We have a return game against Spurs, and yes, it is in London, so we lose 3-2. A couple of defeats in London sees us drop down to 6th, but we are still in contention of that Champions League spot. Even though we've been on the bad runs, Krupi gets Young Player of the Month, and he dedicates it to me. What a hero. We pick up a 2-2 against Arsenal, and thank you, Samu, for scoring in the 91st minute to rescue us a point. Inter Milan coming for a deal worth 66 million for Samu, but I do reject it because I want a little bit more for him. He's too good. Back to winning ways for us as we pick up a 4-1 victory over Luton. That win against Luton boosted us up to get a 3-1 victory against Brentford. Alweda come in for Nathan Lowe for 15 million. It's going to be a decline for me. This man is worth way much more than that. And the very next day, Wahi signs for us on a free. We game at the end of the season, but that's a huge signing. Straight into Carabao Cup at semi-final, though, it's going to be Manchester City running down the wing, heading the ball down, and rifled in by Rafinha to give him a 1-goal lead. And things are not looking good as Manchester City in the second half continue their attacks, push through and get a goal. Somehow, by miscommunication of the defenders, it's a 2-0 victory. There ain't no rest, though, as we head into a game against Manchester United away from home, and things are not going to start too well. Another cross coming in that we just don't deal with, and there it is, Fernandez to rifle it in for a 1-0 lead. And they soon double the tally as they push down this left-hand side. Another cross in, somehow comes off the post, and I have no idea what that clearance was. 2-0. They just add to the pressure as the first half is about to end, and it's just going to be a nice, well-worked goal, this one. I can't fault that one. Great stuff, 3-0. And then Man United just put the nail in the coffin as a ball all the way across is going to find the net by our own player. It's a 4-1 victory. The bad run, unfortunately, continues with a 3-0 loss against Sturmgras. After that defeat, we field a strong team, and we actually get a win against Braga 4-1, and that puts us right at the top of the group for Europe and sees us through to the last 16. We then go back to banging in goals as we pick up a 4-2 win against Leicester and a 6-1 win, crazily enough, against Aston Villa. Manchester City in the second leg of our Carabao Cup semi-final, and we're going to hit the ground running here with a fantastic ball, and Renier slotting it away for a 2-1 aggregate. We then move the ball around really well. Redondo's going to find an absolute fantastic ball all the way across to Wilmot puts it across, and Samu gives us a 2-2. Manchester City do misplace their pass, and we're going to take full advantage of it. Works it well, and Junior Krupi is going to fire us into the final of the Carabao Cup. Momentum of getting into a final pumps us through as we beat Wolves 4-1. We sit 6th in the Premier League, only 4 points off the Champions League spots. It's still doable, and I think we can. We lock in Redondo on a 4-year deal, and then we head into our European draw, and it's going to be none other than Juventus. That's a tough one. Here it is, our final, our first trophy potential. Let's get in there and see if we can beat Leeds. It takes to the second half for some action to kick in, but it is going to be to Leeds as they put the ball all the way across, somehow falls the way through, and that's a great finish from Ernest. But they do get a last-minute double tally as well. It's a great finish from him, and that, unfortunately, is going to see Leeds win the Carabao Cup and us actually fail. We didn't win the trophy. We thought this was going to be an easy one. Unfortunately for us, it doesn't go our way, and we are actually going to see Leeds lift the Carabao Cup trophy from the Championship. With the heartbreak of that cup final, we need to go on and try and win another cup, and that is the FA Cup, a 3-2 victory against Blackburn. We get the draw for the quarterfinals, the FA Cup. Vincent Kompany is going to be kind, and he gives us Leeds. You can't write it. Still looking confident though as we pick up a 3-1 win against West Ham. Another great victory away from home against Sheffield United as we pick up a 3-0 win. Our first matchup in Europe against Juventus in Turin gets an early goal in there. Nice little tap in to give us a 1-goal lead. Juventus then step up their game with a misplaced pass yet again for our centre-half. He's made too many mistakes, but it ends 1-1. No idea what we have done to annoy Leeds, but they win 2-1. We have one of the most crazy results I've ever seen in Football Manager. It's a 9-0 victory against Juventus. Yes, I have no idea how, but we take it. Morale fully boosted after that one as we pick up a 3-2 win over Brighton. We then pick up a 3-1 victory over Burnley, but unfortunately, leaders Newcastle smashes 4-1. That still keeps us 5th in the league, only 2 points away from the Champions League spots. With the draw breaking, we do pick up AZ Alkmaar in the quarterfinals of the Europa League. That game is going to start very faster with an early 1-goal lead from Samu. We then double our tally by running all the way down Gutierrez, all the way across, and there is our man Samu yet again to double our tally. We then work the ball down this left-hand side, lovely working movement, and then is Redondo, after his 4-year deal, rewards us. We're then just going to add to this tally here with another goal down the right, lovely ball through, and there is Tezgal to give us a 4-goal lead. AZ do get one consolation goal though as you whip it down this right-hand side, ball comes into the box, we don't deal with it, it's an easy goal there, ends 4-1. Another monster result as we pick up a 6-2 against Forest. We get this email again, but I don't think it's going to mean anything because we're too far away for the Premiership. Heading out to the Netherlands, we pick up a 4-0 win away from home, seeing us through to the semi-finals. That means a trip to Italy in the semi-finals against Fiorentina. Love this email as we told we are making a profit in this year's, which is absolutely fantastic considering we're in a semi-final and we're still pushing for Champions League. More focus on Europe, I think, as we slip up with a 1-1 against Norwich. The Eagles travel down to the Bet365 arena, and it's not going to be a good start for them as we rifle the ball through. Junior Krupi gain a great goal. But Palace are going to answer back though with a great ball into the box, and that is just volleyed down into the ground. Keeper's done nothing, 1-1. Straight out the blocks from half time though, ball's going to get whipped in. We are going to pick the ball up. Nice little run down this left-hand side. It's going to put it all the way across, and there's our man Nathan Lowe to give us a 2-1 lead. Then in the dying seconds of the game, the 93rd minute, we just see this off and finish it. Lovely ball movements from the team as we get the ball through, and there is Junior Krupi yet again for a 3-1 victory. A defeat to Chelsea's not handy. 3-2. 3 games left remaining this season, and we are 2 points off the top 4 place. Can we do it? Travelling to Italy for our European semi-final, and it's not going to start very well as Fiorentina get a 1-goal lead. We do fight back though because Fiorentina did have a red card, so they go down to 10 men, makes it a little bit easier, and Junior Krupi gets us a goal for 1-1. And we're going to end with a bang with a free kick, ball all the way across, and it's a great header from Wilmot, 2-1. The lads are enjoying football at the minute as we pick up a 5-2 against Bournemouth. The biggest game of our season and career, I would say, and it's going to start exactly the same way as it did in Italy. A 1-goal lead for Fiorentina. They do get the ball, and it's a little bit of a mistouch there, and it's going to be our man Nathan Lowe pushing on. Look at that for a bit of clutch and composure. 1-1. And in the second half, it's another bad pass, and the press from us has been fantastic as Anthony Gordon gets the ball down, whips whips it in, and it's going to go all the way through to Nathan Lowe. 2-1, 4-2 aggregate. We're in the final against Manchester United. Come on! Last two games of the Premier League, and the boys are cooking as we get a 2-1 victory over Liverpool, and somehow managed to pick up a 3-3 against Manchester City. Unfortunately, it wasn't enough to break the top four, but we do get Europa League yet again next year. But we have that magical final where we could win a trophy and get Champions League. Only one way find out. What a signing this young lad has been as well. Krupi claims Footballer Player of the Year for the Premiership. Unreal. He then goes on and picks up the Player of the Year as well, which is absolutely phenomenal. He comes second in the top goal scorers of the league, and he also picks up the Young Player of the Year. What a signing. Yes, he cost us 70-odd million, but he's just so good. But everything comes down to this game, the Europa League final. We've got a few tired players in there, but they are going to be strong enough because the momentum is going to force them through to this game. The first real bit of action comes down through at the end of the first half. It's going to be Anthony Gordon turning into prime Ronaldinho, but I have no idea how this ball doesn't get in, and Manchester United get away with it, and that is going to be 0-0 at half time. The first goal is going to come from Anthony Gordon in the 51st minute. An unbelievable free kick past Onana gives us a 1-goal lead. I then knew something very dodgy was potentially going to happen here. Just look at the Man United striker around my goalkeeper. I thought, what the hell is going on there? But it is going to be a misplaced pass. Man United pick it up. They do a little bit of ball work movement around here, just passing it through. Finds Rashford on running down this left-hand side. He manages to whip the ball in all the way across, and there it is. Bruno Fernandes giving him a 1-1. And then the unthinkable happens. Anthony Gordon plays the ball through. Loftus-Cheek finds Nathan Lowe, who is onside in the 80th minute, has got to smash the goal and give us a 2-1 lead. We then change a few things, and there's the full-time whistle to give us a victory. We have done it. We have finally won the Europa League. What we set out on this journey from the start is to get into European football. Never mind that. We have smashed it, and we have actually won the Europa League, and it feels absolutely fantastic that we have done it. And I think, guys, that is going to be the end of this Stoke City career. I hope you've liked it. Please leave a like, hit the subscribe if you have. Helps me out massively, and we'll be starting a new series very shortly. You guys are awesome. Much love, and bye-bye. We are the champions, my friend.